Hello all. My name is Angel Collins and I am a proud DC Public School alum. I received my bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from the Florida Institute of Technology as a member of the class of 2021. Thanks to On-Ramps to Careers, this summer I had the opportunity to work at Inadev. Inadev is a company prioritizing digital solutions centered around its clientele. With such human-centered design, Inadev is capable of developing custom digital solutions, cloud infrastructure, as well as web and mobile-based applications. During my time at Inadev, I had the chance to observe Inadev's human-centered design from both research and developmental perspectives by working with both the user experience team and the TSA PreCheck team. To best understand user experience at Inadev, we must first understand user experience design and UX experience research. Please note that throughout the rest of this presentation, I will be referring to user experience as UX for short. So UX research stands as a developmental process used to understand the motivation of the customer, while the UX design is the implementation of such research into the product or application. In all, UX design and UX research do work in tangent with one another while contributing to each other. The UX team at Inadev is a startup within the company, using these concepts to improve the digital environment in which is evident in the team's goals listed on the screen now. Incorporating UX research methods into the design space, composing infrastructure and documentation for organization, and implementing regular UX method training to allow for this team to constantly stay up to date and always be building upon their methodology for the future. With these goals in mind, that brings me to my contribution as a member of this team. My primary task was to compose Inadev's first UX case study template. Developing this case study template was focused on using the current Hughes project of the UX team. Providing this case study template implements a structure that will be reviewed by the CTO and CEO of Inadev for marketing the UX team for years to come. To best complete their efforts, the UX team focuses on CBET, which is an internally used software by Inadev to accelerate the front-end development while reducing the time it takes to deploy products to market. To accomplish this UX research, the team deploys the following methods: user interviews that produce the user's attitude towards the product, click testing, which deployed as a way of accessing the framework of the application design by observing and recording the clicks taken by the user to complete a given task, and then card sorting, where the participant labels certain elements according to the criteria that makes most logical sense to them individually. This tells the researchers the architectural expectations of that target user group. Now, let's move on to the digital solution perspective of Inadev. I worked with the TSA PreCheck team to utilize a software referred to as Jira, which is imaged on this screen here. Jira is an issue tracking software that the team uses to create tickets throughout the project. As a member of this team, I ran data analytics using these tickets created. With that being said, I will run you through the results that I received now. This data was analyzed to answer three major questions. Number one, how long does each ticket type stay open on average? Number two, how many times has a ticket been reopened? Number three, what are the most common bug tickets? In the process of answering my first question, it is important to highlight here that out of 202 tickets total existence in Jira, currently, out of that number, 127 of those tickets are bug tickets. So bug tickets are referred to as the errors, anything from a typo to a malfunctioning hyperlink. And within Jira, the team has split up the tickets into 3 separate types. The first being task tickets, then story tickets, then bug tickets. As you'll see in my data, that I will be mostly focusing on bug tickets, since they are the majority. The second part of the first question. As we can see, that out of those 202 tickets that I previously noted, and the large amount of bug tickets taking up over 50% of that original number, bug tickets are the ones that stay open the longest. So they are the majority of the tickets, and they stay open for the most amount of time, which can be seen in these 2 graphics here. On the graphic to the left of the screen, you can see in general, bug tickets are open the longest, followed by task tickets, and then in last place, story tickets. And then when you look at the graphic to the right, you can see that I broke it down a little bit further into the different labels of the different tickets. So the most common bug ticket that stays open the longest is the 508 compliance ticket, which tells me that there is a time discrepancy. Is taking a lot longer to fix any errors that have to do with accessibility on the web. So the second question, how many times has a ticket been reopened? So from the data, you can see that there is a shift towards bug tickets. Bug tickets are the ones that are reopened the most times. Having been reopened out of that data set of 202 tickets, a bug ticket has been reopened 23 separate times. With that being said, that tells me and that tells this team that once going through the process of creating the ticket and assigning the ticket to someone, and that person testing each ticket individually, that ticket is constantly having to be reopened and reassessed. So that tells me again that there is more time having to be dedicated to these tickets. So the more of these tickets in existence, the longer the timeline of the project will be. My last question. What are the most common bug tickets? As we can see from this graphic here in the darkest red, the most common of all of the bug tickets are 508 compliance tickets. That tells me that there is a discrepancy of, again, accessibility errors. In general, the purpose of this data is to assess the improvement of the time management directly being communicated to future clientele to make sure that is more accurate. Seeing as the data shows that most of the time the project goes towards fixing errors, particularly accessibility errors, is telling us now that the timeline is going to shift depending on each particular project's amount and abundance of errors and bug tickets. All in all, I appreciate the time I spent at Inadev. It not only challenged my multitasking skills for the better as part of 2 different teams, but also allowed me to participate in what will be a long-term growth for the company. So thank you to Inadev for hosting me this summer.